Okay, now I'm going to talk about one part of the contract, because you know that Thomas has been working on some bits of banking law, which are collocations, prepositions, and by this means, and some more content that Professor Thomas has, we are going to finish banking law, and we are going to start a new unit related to contract law. You know that in this level, we are facing the TOEFL exam in the higher level. We are delving deeply into some contents that we have dealt with last year during Seminario at the foundation level. So now we're going to deep inside some contents related to TOEFL. One of the contents is the one related to some contract clauses. So I have here some bits of contract clauses, and afterwards I'm going to deal with one web page related to contract clauses. Contract clauses are part of contracts, which is the next and now our new unit. Okay, okay. Up to now, Maria and Romina.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Juan Ignacio. Okay, contract clauses. You know that contract clauses are bit by bit parts of a contract, and the contract clauses make the contract. Depending on the content of the contract clauses is the type of contract we face. So we have some typical contract clauses, and in these clauses we have some particular vocabulary. For instance, commercial vocabulary. In the commercial law, and private law, we have some new vocabulary, such as perishable goods, los bienes perecibles. ¿Cómo decimos en español? Bienes, los bienes
Perecederos.
Perecederos. Ay, sí. Bienes perecederos. Perishable goods. Merchandise. Warehouse. Warehouse is, anyone knows what a warehouse is?
Un depósito.
Un depósito. Warehouse. Budget, which is el presupuesto, the budget. Premises. What are premises? ¿Qué sería?
Premises. ¿Un local? Un local comercial.
Los locales, no son las premisas. Las premisas de un silogismo, todo eso, no. Premises es el local, los locales. Installments no son las instalaciones. ¿Qué son? Installments.
Las cuotas.
Las cuotas. Que vieron que installments with only one L es British y two L's is American. The serial number, we may guess what serial number is. Invoice, what is an invoice?
Factura.
Factura. I think that this part is a mistake. Well, to store is to store in the warehouse. All this vocabulary you are going to find inside the contract clauses. To cease to trade. Well, so we have some commercial vocabulary. We have termination clauses, which are the termination clauses is the type of clause that relates to the way you terminate a contract. Sometimes it includes ways of firing your counterpart, or sometimes it relates to some circumstances, force majeure, and all sorts of termination causes, so termination clauses. Sometimes it includes a clause related to intellectual property, and in the case of intellectual property, you are going to find some pair words, assignor, assignee. Who remembers what is this pair clause, pair words, assignor, assignee? What is that? Assignor and assignee. Remember, Maria or Romy?
Cedido y cedente.
Excellent, yes. To grant license, and this part, this pair, licensor and licensee, el que entrega la licencia y el que la recibe, licensee. All of this, E is the one that receives, and or is the one that gives.
Okay.
Encumbrances. Encumbrances are all sorts of aspects that are that access the important part. There's the important part of the contract, and the encumbrances are the accessible, the secondary aspects of the contract. IP rights. Well, the IRT clause. Who can explain what our IRT clause is? Remember? In a contract. It's related to the
rescission.
Transferring the title. The title, IRT clause means retention of title. Transferring or not the title. Remember? Yes, remember. And
yes,
so
when you buy something, the title of over that thing does not transfer to the buyer until he or she pays the total amount.
Yes, in full. Yes, excellent, yes. Maria. Yes, that's retention of title clause that we barely have in our system. Well, warranty, some other terms are warranty, indemnity, force majeure clauses. That's a force majeure clause, indemnity clause, warranty clause. Those are all clauses in a contract. Well, termination
is
clause,
writing in the chat.
What?
That Juan Ignacio is writing in the chat.
Yes, title retention. Juan Ignacio, oh, I'm so glad that you recognize the situation. Excellent, Juan Ignacio. Yes, RT clause or retention of title clause. Thank you, Juan Ignacio. Thank you, Maria. Maria, can you read the termination and confidentiality clauses?
Okay. Termination clause, it contains information about the expiration of the contract. Term is not equal to termination. Term is duration, and termination is ways to expire.
Yes.
Confidentiality.
To cease.
Yes. Confidentiality clause, it deals with information that must remain secret, not to tell or disclose certain information.
Okay, Romy, can you read the rest of them?
Yes. Intellectual property rights, it deals with IP rights. Assignment clause, it prohibits or permits assignment under certain conditions. And force majeure clause protects against failures to perform an obligation due to unavoidable events beyond the parties' control, such as natural disasters or wars.
Excellent, excellent. The way you pronounce unavoidable. Yes, excellent. Okay, more clauses. Maria, can you read acceleration, the acceleration and consideration?
Okay, acceleration clause, it requires to pay sooner than as agreed upon the occurrence of some event, such as failure to make payment of an installment. And consideration clause states the reason, motive, price which induces one party to enter into an agreement.
Okay, can you expand, Maria, on consideration? What do you think consideration is? As regards what you have studied.
The reason. It's that el
But
fin.
what is your understanding? Yes, what happens in Argentina, for instance? Is there a consideration necessity or other types of elements in the contract?
I think consideration is not how do you say it?
Element
of a contract.
Element
here.
of the contract. Yes, because there are other elements, perhaps. Which elements, for instance?
The offer and the acceptance. And
Yes.
how do you say la contraprestación?
Yes. The object or not? An object. And you know that in Argentina, there's another element, which is the causa. And the causa, which was subject to discussion before 2015, nowadays is part of the Código Civil y Comercial. It refers to the causa. So we have causa, oferta, aceptación.
Maybe consideration means but it's related to causa? Consideration,
there's no consideration. I think that it has some relationship with causa, but for them, it's not the same. Consideration is the balance between what one person gives and the other person receives. That's consideration for them. And sometimes the consideration may be $1, but there should be consideration. There shouldn't be a delivering of something without any other counter delivery. And you can see that in some movies where they hire a lawyer for only $1 and they say, well, now I'm your lawyer and I owe you confidentiality because you paid me $1. That's consideration. So they have consideration and we don't have consideration. Okay, Romy, liquidated damages and payment of costs.
Okay. Liquidated damages, it refers to a predetermined sum a non-breaching party will receive if the other party breaches a part of the contract. And payment of costs, it states which party would have to pay costs related to preparation of the agreement and ancillary documents.
Ancillary documents. Ancillary documents are, for instance, la escritura, la lista, el inventario, todos los documentos accesorios al documento principal. That's ancillary documents. Okay. Next one, retention of title. A pity that Juan Ignacio cannot talk because it seems that he understands that. Maria, can you read it?
Yes, retention of title clause in a contract for the sale or of ordinary goods, the ROT clause ensures that the providing company will retain domain on the goods. This clause is a sensible precaution which anticipates the pitfalls that one party might experience in the future. A pitfall is a problem that is very likely to happen in the future. The clause says the seller retains title to the goods until the seller receives full payment.
So here we have two aspects. On one aspect is that it refers to the term pitfall. Pitfall is something that is an obstacle. And in fact, pitfall, it does not belong to legal English. It's general English. You can say, well, I was doing good in my job, my new job, but then I stumbled into a pitfall, which was that I didn't know how to pronounce some words in English. A pitfall, an obstacle, something negative. That pitfall It's a problem. So mind that pitfall is not legal English, and it's part from probably it's part of a lecture of a reading. That's why there's the clarification there. Another aspect is the thing related to the preposition. Mind that it says the seller retains title to the goods. It doesn't say title of the goods. Que tendríamos a decir el título de los bienes. But it says title to the goods. It retains title to the goods until the seller receives full payment. So that's retention of title clause. Okay, next one. Oh, that's difficult. The warranty and guarantee. Romy, can you read it?
Yes. A warranty is a guarantee that one party gives to the other. A warranty is usually a written warranty for a product and declares the maker's responsibility to repair or replace a defective product or its parts. A warranty is an agreement assuming responsibility to perform, execute, or complete something and offering security for that agreement. Warranty is a promise or an assurance, especially one given in writing, that attests to the quality or durability of a product or service, or a pledge that something will be performed in a specified manner. Warranty is an old form for warranty. On the other hand, warranty is something given or held as security until a debt is paid or the performance of a duty is fulfilled.
Well, here we have some vocabulary that we have to bear in mind. For instance, on one hand, it's a promise. You have to say it's a promise, promise with the accent on the O, promise. Well, the thing is that it says, for instance, or a pledge, a pledge. A pledge is, for instance, the pledge is also a verb. You pledge. Es como rogar, a pledge. That's a pledge. But in this sense, it's not rogar or else. A pledge here es como dar en un, lo que uno llama en empeño, en empeño, una cosa en empeño. Or a pledge, una cosa dada en empeño, una cosa dada en garantía. Or a pledge that something will be performed in a specific manner. As algo en seguridad, a pledge that something will be performed in a specific manner, in specified manner, it says. Well, that's one thing. Another term is that it says that attests to the quality or durability. All of this is part of reading from ILEC, the ILEC book. So it's a promise that attests. So attests in this sense is una promesa que asegura que la cualidad de durabilidad. Attests, a promise that attests to the quality or durability of a product or service. Este es otro aspecto. What else? Another thing is that it says a warranty with a Y. Warranty is an old form of guarantee. You say guarantee. Warranty and guarantee. So it's two things different. I think that I have finished with this, and the source, as you can see, is the Kreislinder and Translegal International Legal English, which is the book related to ILEC, you know. Okay, that's my PowerPoint. Apart from that, I have another thing, which is as follows. Can you see my sharing of a web page? Contract clauses explained. Can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here I will send you and I will upload it on the classroom. This web page, and it says that that's the overview, and there are some examples. For instance, it says choice of law clause, also known as forum clause. You know that in Argentina, even today, and even in English, some people talk about forum shopping. You know what forum shopping is? What is foreign shopping?
Compra en el extranjero.
O del foro. And foreign shopping is to file many different, for instance, many different claims in order to have one of them installed in the court that you want. You want this court, and you're going to claim 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, until the claim goes to the part that you want, the court that you want. I think that Maria has abandoned us because she had to travel to Villa Mercedes. So we pardon her. So that's foreign shopping. And here it says foreign clause. So you have a clause related to the choice of law. La elección del derecho que se va a aplicar al contrato. The choice of law clause. The Statute of Limitations clause. You know, Romy and Juan, Juan is talking here by Maria. Okay. You know, Romy and Juan may answer by the chat. What is the Statute of Limitation? Can you tell me, Romy or Juan, by the chat? Well, I ease you. The statute of limitation is a clause related to la prescripción liberatoria. That's the statute of limitation. It doesn't have anything in common with them. It's not a clear term. It's not transparent term. Statute of limitations means the way the action lives, the action dies because of the time. So that's la prescripción liberatoria. That's statute of limitation. The statute of limitation clause may, in a contract, may say, well, in this case, la prescripción no va a ser de 5 años, sino que establecemos que la prescripción va a ser de 7 años. So we are changing the statute of limitation. The time of performance is the terms in which the whole performance is going to have place. Non-waiver clause, you are not allowed to waive any of your rights, or perhaps you are allowed to waive some rights or to waive some responsibilities. Arbitration clause, you are leaving in the hands of an arbiter to decide on certain terms. Arbitration clause, assignment clause, estás haciendo la cesión de derechos y acciones de un contrato. Assignment clause. Confidentiality clause, I think that we have talked about that. Consideration clause. Entire agreement clause. Entire agreement, it says, this defines the agreement as being the written terms in the contract. Esto significa esto. Entire agreement clause means that perhaps you have been talking previously, and you have been talking, and after that, you prepare the contract and you sign the contract. But perhaps some of the things that you have signed are in contradiction with what you have talked before. And it says that you have to take into account what you have signed, not what was talked about. Entonces, lo que está escrito mata lo que está hablado previamente. That's entire agreement clause. Force majeure indemnification clause. Sometimes you have to indemnify some damages. Liquidation damages clause, we have talked about that. Acceleration clause, that's also something different in the term. Acceleration clause means that when you fail to pay an installment, they have all the right to cash you all the sum. So it accelerates because they can cash you, you are owed to pay all the sum, not installments, because you failed to pay one or two installments. Se le cae el plan de cuotas, acceleration clause. So those are all the clauses that I have prepared, and I will send it through the platform, through our classroom. Yes. So I will stop sharing. And okay, tell me, Romy.
El PowerPoint que pasaste antes, ese no está subido todavía, ¿no? Tampoco.
No, no está subiendo, no está subiendo. Todavía no preparé tengo que armar bien esta nueva unidad, ¿no es cierto? La voy a armar bien, sobre todo como Romy y otras chicas vienen de seminario, queremos siempre proporcionar material nuevo, por eso lo vamos a subir bien, me voy a fijar muy bien, siempre tener material nuevo y avanzado para este nivel. También quería decir, ya que seguimos grabando, a ver si seguimos, vos me vas a fijar si sigo grabando. No, estoy grabando. Me escribieron esta mañana de Tools, ya están las fechas, en realidad me escribieron para darme las fechas del año que viene, pero digamos, está en la fecha, y la fecha es en noviembre, que tendría que ver si es el 22 o el 23, siempre suele ser para esa fecha, y lo que les quiero decir es, también les voy a decir en el otro nivel de los chicos, a ver si podemos empezar a programarlo, porque si lo programamos, tengo siempre la autorización de ellos de ir pagándolo en cuotas. Y entonces hacemos una cuota ahora, estamos en agosto. Hay que llegar a noviembre, agosto, y tengo que tenerlo pagado, todos los chicos lo tienen que tener pagado entre el 4 de noviembre. Entonces podemos hacer agosto, septiembre, octubre, ¿ves? En 3 cuotas. Sería más fácil de pagar así, les aviso. Entonces yo voy a preparar y voy a subir la información acerca de cómo podríamos hacer para el Chose. Romy, podrías hacer el Chose Higher. Te informo que no hay más listening, así que está más fácil todavía. Y bueno, me voy a fijar qué modificaciones ha habido, que no han sido muchas. Las modificaciones que ha habido son sobre todo el hecho de que ellos se han reorganizado, han subido el precio del libro, por lo que me preocupa, han subido el precio del libro, y también ahora dice que esta va a ser la última vez que van a mandar los exámenes en escrito. Yo ya no los pedía más por escrito, yo ya los hacía todos online, así que tampoco me preocupa. Y sí que han sacado el listening, que es mejor para mí, es mejor, o sea, da más posibilidad de avanzar. Así que voy a bajar un modelo nuevo, a ver si hay algún cambio sobre lo que era antes el higher, para proporcionarles a ustedes la posibilidad de rendir el higher. Y Juan Ignacio, si quiere rendir el foundation o el higher, que también me puede avisar, para prepararlo, ¿no es cierto? Porque nosotros después, como bien sabe Romy, les damos masa con practicar y practicar el formato, para que les quede muy fácil de decir, bueno, yo ya sé con qué me voy a enfrentar al rendir. Ok, Tomás, ahí te doy el host. A ver, vamos a dar el host. Make host. Yes, you're the host now. And so, my recording probably is going to be cut out. You have to start it.
Here, Juan Ignacio says that he wanted to sit for the hire on November.
Perfecto, Juan Ignacio.
Given that he has already sat
Juan
for the
Ignacio.
foundation.
Bueno, entonces perfecto, Juan Ignacio, vas a ser nuestros candidatos de hire. Y yo te digo, no tenés que hacer listening, esto para mí es muy positivo, porque causaba mucho estrés. Una de las señoras de Buenos Aires les indagó y les dijo, ¿por qué sacaron el listening? Y dice que les costaba mucho, económicamente les costaba, el tema de tener buenos actores que hicieran las grabaciones, y que notaban que en realidad no tenían tanto, les parecía que no daba tanto resultado. Para mí sí era importante que hicieran listening, pero la práctica del listening, no tanto que lo tomaran, sino que a mí me dieran las grabaciones. Bueno,
I didn't realize they were
y no van a tomar más ese papel, va a ser un solo papel.
Such expensive actors.
Yes, debe ser caro para ellos. Bueno, entonces, bárbaro, Juan Ignacio, yo voy a preparar la información para tratar de pagarlo en installments. Entonces, vamos a ver, como hicimos los otros años, yo les pido la autorización a los de allá, les digo, porque yo a los que hacen los cursos nuestros, yo les cobro el costo, no les cobro aparte para el instituto, para el SIC. En cambio, el que viene de afuera, yo le cobro aparte, porque como no estaba con nosotros, así que yo les voy a dar a ustedes los costos, lo vamos a dividir en 3, vamos a hacer 3 cuotas, y se paga con la tarjeta de crédito, hay que hablar con la tarjeta de crédito que permita el pago, y les doy a ustedes el nombre se llama Global no sé cuánto, y se le paga la primera cuota ahora, la segunda cuota, y después entonces yo muestro, apago las 3 cuotas y me los terminan de inscribir antes del 4 de noviembre. Perfecto, Juan Ignacio. Y les voy a preparar el modelo, de varios modelos que pueda tener del nuevo hire, que yo creo que va a ser igual que el anterior, solo que sin el listening. Bueno, Tomás, you can follow on, please.
Go on.
Tomás, start recording again on the net, please, on the cloud.
It says here that it's recording.
Okay, okay.
Should I pause it?
Yes, please. Now, stop it and start again. On the